Season 2 of Black Ops 6 rank play just dropped, and they added a couple new guns that are completely broken that you need to use if you want to climb the ranks. So for today, I have for you the updated top 5 best weapons to be using in ranked play. This is the brand new CYPHER 091. Incredible gun. The only downside is that it does have a slower fire rate, so if you miss any shots, you're probably gonna die to the aim. Since the aims, it's very forgiving, easy to use. This one is just, you know, you don't want to miss. It kind of reminds me of like a Man of War. A lot of damage, no recoil whatsoever. For sure the most broken AR in the game because it gives you a 3-shot kill up to 56 meters. You can literally cross map people on vault, 3-shot them as long as you get in some headshots there. For sure it's going to get taken out of rank play very soon. The pro is already G8'd it. Now for the optic, we are going to be using the Kepler Microflex. The iron sights are good, but in rank play when you're trying to kill enemies off like head glitches and things, the Kepler, just in general, using an optic is going to help you out a lot more. For the muzzle, the portacopter is going to be better for this gun just because you are going to be killing the enemies in about 3 to 5 shots on average. Porta is going to make it so those first few shots have no recoil. For the barrel, we don't really need this. You could take it off because our effective damage range right now is 47 meters, but we're trying to make it super broken. You want to be able to get a consistent TTK at literally any type of gunfight, especially those far ones that can be very crucial so you can get the hill and then, you know, get those spawns for your team. Reinforced barrel is going to increase the effective damage range to 56.4 meters, and then our bolt velocity is going to be 972 meters per second. Doesn't matter where you're at, you're going to get that very good hit registration. Now for the underbarrel, you can get away with the Ranger, but again, we're trying to make the gun very consistent. You don't ever want to miss a bullet. The vertical foregrip is going to help with that. You're going to get a lot of recoil control. I believe it gives us 40% horizontal recoil control, and then reduces the recoil gun kick by 3%, overall making the gun super easy to use. Now for the rig grip, we are going to be adding the ergonomic because this gun kills so fast and just how mobile it feels. You can play aggressive with the gun. This is going to allow you to play that aggressively. If you like the iron sights, you can take off the optic, or I guess you could take off the barrel on like Skyline. Then you can go over to the stock and add the balance stock to increase the mobility, allowing you to play a little bit more. You know, you can use the Omni movement. Now I'm not going to be giving you guys gunfighter builds because I think that's completely cheese. Even though it's in the game, just don't rock it. The pros don't use it. It's banned in the CDL. Don't be that guy that rocks it, but you know, recoil springs are definitely the better option. And then with the balance stock, if you are going to use it. For the secondary, this is going to be the best you know, class for the pistol. Obviously, you know, we only can rock a couple attachments, and then they did just buff dexterity, and so now your weapon's gonna I think it's going to sway like 10% less than it did before, making dexterity pretty good, but I think you're going to get more value out of Ninja paired up with the flat jacket. And then double time just allows you to get to those timings and just get to certain areas a little bit faster. And then yeah, just run the perk green. And for the lethal, bro, the frag grenades, when you cook them, you can make them just instantly detonate and just roll them in the areas. The frag grenades, you see a lot of professionals using it, and they're just actually extremely good. I recommend them over the Semitex, but Semitex is good for like extra aggressive playstyles to where you're just never slowing down. And then trophy system is going to be more beneficial for your team, and just always use those trophy systems. What kind of sets like an average player and a good player is that the good player is always going to be using their trophies, and they always use the minimap. Casuals, like bro, I'll see them playing and they'll just always have their trophy system. Now for the next gun, after this we're going to go over the PPSH, but I think the JACKAL PDW is still better just because you just have a little bit more mobility and faster timings, allowing you to bring up the gun faster, and there's no recoil, so you're never going to miss any shots, and it's just going to be a very consistent weapon. For the class, it's going to be the same as before. We got the compensator on there giving us a lot of vertical recoil control, and then it gives us some gun kick control, just making it so the gun shakes less. For the barrel, our bolt velocity is 530 meters per second, so you're going to get more value out of that long barrel, bringing up the effective to 20.6 meters, and then it's going to be a 4-shot kill up to about 20 meters, which is very good. And then for the underbarrel, if you want no recoil, use the vertical foregrip. I know a lot of people really like this, but if you are warmed up for the day, the Ranger might be better, so you can get those timings you can get from point A to point B a little bit faster. Still, you're rocking the ergonomic grip. I hope they add some other cool attachments because I feel like we're just gonna be rocking the same things the whole year, which I think makes the gunplay a little bit boring. But anyways, for the stock, we are going to be adding the balance stock. We get the double arrows on there, so definitely the best option. Infiltrator is good, but balance is just going to make the gun even more well-rounded. For the gunfighter, add the recoil springs and then maybe an optic, but you should be fine with the 5 attachments. You'll get more value out of that. And then this is everything else that I prefer on the class. A lot of this stuff is basically going to be the same across everything. This is the machine that powers my gaming setup, built by Paradox Customs. Genuinely one of the cleanest PCs I've ever seen, and I get over 300 FPS with max settings on Call of Duty. If you're not a tech lord, I don't really recommend building your own since you'll be dealing with many expensive pieces, plus it takes up a ton of time. So if you're looking to stomp those console players with the competitive PC edge, definitely order one from Paradox Customs, as they have built many PCs for creators like IShowSpeed and Celium. As you can see, it will be a quality build put together with care, so you don't have to worry about issues, and if there is any, their support team is better than any out there since they actually care about their clients. And if you use my code CBAS at checkout, you'll get a nice discount. Thank you Paradox Customs for the insane build. For the next gun, we got the PPSH. It is the fastest killing SMG, or it feels like that. We gotta wait for exclusive Aces video to come out, but the pros already banned it from the pro league, so that should kind of say something. But also they banned guns like the SOG, and the SOG's not even that good. And so you guys can see there's not that much recoil. Very fast fire rate, very forgiving, but doesn't have the best mobility, so that's why I like the JACKAL more, and you're going to see more people rock the JACKAL over the PPSH. But I'm glad that we can use these guns in the game just to mix up rank play a little bit. And so for the muzzle, sorry, my asthma is going crazy. We're going to be adding the compensator, adding a lot of vertical and gun kick control, kind of a must on this gun. For the ARs, I usually like the ported because you don't fire that many shots, and this helps you out with those first few shots. Compensator gives you a better overall recoil control. For the barrel, we're going to be adding the long barrel. Bolt velocity right now is 530. This is going to get more value out of the long barrel. For the underbarrel, we're going to be using the vertical. This gun has a lot of horizontal, so I don't really recommend the Ranger, but since the gun does feel a little bit heavier, if you can get away with the Ranger, you'll probably want to do the Ranger. You'll get less dead slides and you'll feel overall better on the map. It's just like there's going to be a little bit of recoil, and that might make you lose those gunfights, especially when the enemies are using the JACKAL. For the stock, we are going to be using the combat stock, so there's they basically combine these stocks and the rig grips for this gun, which is pretty cool, so we have more unique options. The ergonomic used to increase the ADS, the slide to fire, and the dive to fire, but now instead of increasing the ADS, it does the aim walking movement speed, which I kind of like, so we not just, you know, not rocking the same things. The combat stock is going to be the better option. I went to go see what Cole Havoc was rocking. He just got #1 in the world, so he's using the combat, and it makes sense. You get the dive to fire, slide to fire, and the sprint to fire speed. None of these are going to increase your slide to fire speed as well as ADS speed, and that slide to fire speed is definitely the most important thing that you can do. For the fire mods, we are going to be adding the recoil springs. It gives us a lot of recoil control. I believe it gives us about 10% of everything, so furthermore making the gun less shaky. Right here is going to be the best 5 attachment PPSH. Gunfighter, don't rock it. It's just a complete waste of everything. Next up, we got the AMES. The AMES is going to be the more consistent, easy to use AR, just because there's no recoil. Takes a lot of shots to kill, but it's just so unbelievably easy to use and just super smooth, and it looks amazing with that nebula camo. For the optic, use the Kepler. The iron sights are completely horrible. You're going to get more value out of that Kepler. For the muzzle, we are using the porta compensator, making so the first few shots have no recoil. For the barrel, we're going to be adding the reinforce, so we can increase the hit scan potential as well as increase the effective damage range, although it doesn't, it's like very niche when it helps you. I always thought it was bugged because it says the effective damage range is 16, which is like SMG territory, and so it just like there's certain niche values where it is going to help you out a little bit more, and then the bolt velocity is pretty nice to make the gun more consistent. For the grip, I like the quick draw grip since you are going to be sitting back. You're not playing too aggressive with the weapon. You don't want to play that aggressive with the weapon, so you'll get more value out of the quick draw in my opinion, but you'll see other very good players use the ergonomic and they'll use the quick draw, so up to you guys. And then I like, instead of using underbarrel, I like the recoil springs, make it so there's less vertical, less gun kick, and there's not that much horizontal, so that's why I'd rather get, you know, all sorts of types of recoil control, which is what we're getting with the recoil springs. You guys can see no recoil on the gun, and there's actually more stats in the game. We can see our jump to fire speed, dive to fire, slide to fire, our jumping ADS speed. I don't know why these weren't here day one, but you know, at least we got it. And then first shot recoil scale, I don't really know what that multiplier is, but that seems pretty good. 40% reduction on there. Overall, we can see a lot of stats. You guys can see this gun is super good. And then for the last gun, we got the KSV. I need to see the TTK of the PPSH, but this thing has a faster ADS, so like if you're having like a sprint out TTK, this thing probably has the faster one, and there's no recoil. It's just that longer ranges, it takes a lot of shots to kill, so it's only good if you're up in the enemy's face. Same class as the JACKAL. We got the compensator on there, reducing that recoil. For the barrel, bolt velocity right now is 510, so the long barrel is going to be the better option, especially because this thing has a crazy fall off damage range. For the underbarrel, we're using the vertical foregrip just to make it so the gun's extra consistent. You don't want to miss any shots with the gun. For the rear grip, we got the ergonomic to cut down on all those delays, as well as making the gun a whole lot more snappy. And then last, we got the bounce stock on there. It gives us the double arrows for everything, so you're going to get a lot of value out of that, and it just overall makes the gun feel pretty good. And that is going to wrap it up for the ranked play video. On this account, I usually am on my other one, but this one I only got to like gold or something because I only played like 5 matches. Hopefully the anti-cheats fixed. I really hope so, because I would love to play ranked, but I stopped playing ranked play last year, last season, because there was hackers in almost every single game. The second you hit Crim 2, almost every game was a hacker. Viewership was going down, wasn't having fun. I'll stop the yap. I hope you guys enjoy the game. I hope there's an anti-cheat. Wish you guys all the best of luck. Deuces.